Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a persuasive speech on why everyone should own a firearm for protection. I'm going to go over a few basic statistics of different crimes, different percentages of rates that are higher or lower in certain states and certain areas, and then give a couple tips on the type of firearms, what you should look at, and how you should do research and practice before you buy or own one for your protection. So the media nowadays portrays law-abiding gun owners, I'm not going to say as bad people, but they try to strike fear into the American public that owning a firearm makes you dangerous, and that if law-abiding citizens, hunters, target shooters for just for hobbies, make you less safe, which is not true at all in any way, shape, or form. Law-abiding citizens, there are a multitude of accounts that the media doesn't show, but if you search online, you can find actual news stories for smaller towns, a lot of states that are very pro-gun, Texas, Alaska, things like that, where family members have saved themselves or their other lives. There was, for instance, about a year ago, I believe now, there was a news story. A 14-year-old girl, a man broke into her home and was attempting to attack her. And she grabbed her family's gun and shot and neutralized the threat to her life. Now, a lot of people say that the mental anguish she's got to live with for taking someone's life is not worth it. I say that's ridiculous, because there is no telling what he may have done to her. He could have taken her life. He could have done things that, in my mind, are much worse than losing your life, and she would have to live with that for the rest of her life. It's a sad world we live in, but we have to be sure to stay protected, stay smart, and do what we can to protect ourselves and our family. It's a basic human right to protect yourself. So real quick, I'm going to read off a couple stats for you, just so you kind of understand the scope of how many things really go on in this country on a yearly basis. So these are the crime stats for 2013. 1,163,146 violent crimes were reported. That encompasses aggravated assaults, domestic abuse, anything violence related gets thrown into that category. There were 8,632,512 property crimes. So your B&Es, your thefts, things of that nature. 14,196 estimated murders. Obviously, it's estimated because there are times where they unfortunately can't find a body, or someone just goes missing and they're not sure that it was a murder. And so those go undocumented. So it's estimated that that's how many there were in 2013. 724,149 aggravated assaults. 79,770 rapes were reported. And that doesn't count the tons that go unreported due to the victims being fearful, or it being done by a family member and they're in shock. And I know a lot of this hits home. It may hit home for you, but that's why I'm so passionate about this subject, is that we can make a difference. We can protect ourselves, and we can change this. We can lower these numbers if, as a country and as a people, we come together and realize that lawful gun owners, being educated in how to use a gun, how to use it safely, we can change these. We can drop these numbers an amazing amount. Just a couple of stats for you real quick. In different areas, violent crimes drop in carry areas. It is a basic fact. The stats show it. You look at places like Chicago, their crime rate has been unbelievable. And for a very long time, it was almost impossible to get a concealed carry permit. It was impossible to have your own firearm for protection, and the rates were unbelievably high. Gun homicides, are 10% higher in restrictive states. So that means states that are very restrictive on giving out concealed carry licenses and things of that nature. So your California, near DC, Chicago, those places have a higher crime rate because the criminals know that the vast majority of their victims are not armed because they're not allowed to be. So that changes their mindset right there and says, oh, I can easily get away with this without being harmed, without being shot, anything of that. States that do not allow CHLs, all it does is bind the hands of a law-abiding citizen. If somebody kicks in your door, say you're a father or you're a mother, or you're a husband or a wife, and someone kicks in your door, and say they're armed, or say they're holding a knife, say they're holding an axe, say that they're going to hurt you. That is their plan. If somebody kicks in your door, they are a criminal. They are not there to high-five you and sing kumbaya. They're there to take your things and possibly take your life. You have the right as a human to stop that from happening. The media likes to portray a lot of these kids that, I say kids, they're not kids, a lot of them. They're portrayed as kids. They're portrayed as innocents. And yes, sadly, a lot of it is upbringing. But owning a gun will stop them. If they know that, oh man, if I kick in this door to steal this, or to hurt this family, or to rape this woman, I may be shot and killed. That's going to change their mindset. That's why the rates are so much higher in states that don't allow it, because they know they can get away with it. And it's a ridiculous way to think that disarming us makes us safer. A couple basic rules if you are going to get a firearm for your family: make sure you do your research. There are different, you have handguns, you have shotguns. One of the best for home protection is going to be a shotgun. A little 20 gauge shotgun will do the trick every day of the week, and it also won't fly through a wall into the next home and harm somebody that you didn't want to be harmed. Keep it in a safe area, and I don't mean lock it up, because it's harder to get to, and you don't want that. But make sure your family knows about gun safety. And I hope you take some of this knowledge, you take some of these percentage, you take some of these rates, and it opens your eyes to, I can protect myself and my family. I just have to be smart about it, and I can help change the way things are. And that's what we need to do, is we need to change the way things are. Thank you for listening. Appreciate it.